Good morning, everyone, and welcome to This Time Daily. We're here live, sitting right out front of the EPCOT's main entrance gates. We're just going to be getting a live view of Spaceship Earth, as it says in the title. It's a little bit of people watching Wednesday, something that I've been wanting to do on this channel for a little bit of time. We did do it a little bit a while ago, I would say sometime last year. But it just wasn't enough people sometimes in some of the areas that we were sitting in, but I wanted to pick it up back in with a live stream of it. The goal for me is to really just kind of shoot this footage throughout our journeys around the Disney parks, and then just to put them out on Wednesdays for everyone to view. People watching is one of the unknown secrets of many pass holders, many people who come to Disney on a frequent basis. We just like to, as we call it, people watch. Sit on a bench and watch the guests, new and young and old, and just kind of gather what they say up in the background, some of the misinformation that they are hearing. We'll be just sitting here posted up for the majority of this day. At this point, this is kind of like what I look forward to when I come to these Disney parks, is just sitting, listening to the ambiance, listening to the crowds as they come in. Something that I developed very early on in my Disney journeys is me and my father, we frequent these parks throughout our younger years. It got to the point where some of the best things for my dad to do was just sit on a bench, either on Main Street, when they had benches over there in the hub area. And of course, the many spots that's around here, World Showcase, around Spaceship Earth, and other areas of EPCOT. Once again, we are here live, sitting right out front of Spaceship Earth, just inside the EPCOT gates. We're going to be gathered here. We're going to be posted up here for the majority of this stream, just getting some live ambiance, listening to the music, listening to the chatter of the crowd coming in. If anybody is watching, just let me know in the chat below if you can hear the music and the background noises, as I do have the microphone set up at the moment. And of course, as always, as you come in, make sure you like this stream. Lets me know how people feel about some of the content that we're doing. As I said before, this is going to be People Watching Wednesday. For you guys, you'll be watching for the people. I will just be listening to them as they come in. And I will be having the mental visual of what I remember of Spaceship Earth from all the years that I have visited this park, and the months that I worked here briefly as an overnight custodial back in 2017. One of the biggest things I appreciated while working for the Walt Disney Company is all the different locations that I were able to do, working alongside a number of cast members in different areas, having a different respect for everybody that does something part of Disney. And of course, EPCOT, world famous for having this attraction that should be right in your view. The attraction is called Spaceship Earth. Yes, there is an actual ride inside of that giant geosphere. As most people will call it, it is the EPCOT ball, or the golf ball, as some kids always seem to call it. But the official name of that geosphere is actually Spaceship Earth. As I said, it houses the Spaceship Earth attraction, which is a slow-moving vehicle that takes you through the progress of time, all the way up until space travel and the evolution of technology. It's endured a lot of reimaginings and refurbishments over the years. There was actually one scheduled before the pandemic. It was supposed to be a major overhaul. Obviously, that, along with other things, got postponed and eventually, let's just say, permanently delayed for the time being. This, alongside with the Play Pavilion that was supposed to take over the old Wonders of Life Pavilion, located right next to what is now Guardians of the Galaxy. There was a small refurbishment not too long ago with Spaceship Earth, but not the major overhaul that they had planned on doing before the pandemic. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna wait just a little bit longer before they do gut Spaceship Earth a little bit with all the construction that is going around on the other theme parks, and plus EPCOT finally getting over their long construction project, as the entire center space of Spaceship Earth's area, which is now called World Celebration, took on a huge undertaking over the last several years. As always, make sure that you're liking and subscribing to the channel if you have not. This is going to be our view for the majority, if not all, of this live stream. Sitting right out front of Spaceship Earth, just inside EPCOT's entrance gates, as we people watch for the day. Or in my take, I will just be listening to the people as they come in. If you are new to the channel, I am a blind vlogger. Me and my wife are inside these parks pretty much 4, maybe even 5 days a week, doing various things, whether it be streaming, bringing in some video content that will eventually be uploaded, and of course, very avid in pin trading. We have 2 little ones that are also involved in pin trading as well, so while they're at school for the day, we come into the park and find some of the elusive pins that they can't get their hands on. And for the most part, I am here for just what this video is doing, and that is for the ambiance. In case you have been here for any moment in our live streams, we occasionally do rides every so often, just depends on park capacity. I have no issues doing the rides, but it does take a little bit of time, as with me being blind, not able to navigate as easily as most people are. And also, we try to avoid long wait times for the simple fact of, and I have to preface this by saying, it's not that my disability doesn't allow me to stand in line. It's just that it becomes a bit risky because I do get vertigo real bad over the last few years, mainly due to the fact of, like, my mental imaging of where we're going is disrupted by the twists and turns of the queue, and also the music and the sound effects kind of give me a disorientation, which leads me to, again, get vertigo. And of course, me being 6 feet tall, over 230 pounds, a little bit difficult to navigate a queue with somebody that might be potentially falling over. So I choose not to get on rides that typically have either 20-25 minute waits, or longer, I should say, than 20-25 minutes, unless it's a queue that I know for a fact doesn't have the twisting back and forth, as most attractions do. There are a lot of attractions in EPCOT per se that don't really have the issue. For instance, Spaceship Earth is pretty much a straight shot. Figment is a straight shot. Finding Nemo can get a little iffy because there is one room that does have a lot of back and forth, as we call switchbacks. Soarin' isn't too bad, but again, if it's over 25 minutes, I would rather not. But again, if you go through our catalog of other videos, we do have some other ride POVs that we've done in the past. I know, for instance, we've done some recent Figments. We've got a Haunted Mansion in there. Pirates of the Caribbean, I know we've done recently. We're still navigating through some of the rides that have a lot of copyrights, so bear with us as we are learning. Sorry about that. I am getting into the chat. I do have my headphones on, so let me know if the audio is coming in at least fairly well. Robert, welcome to the channel. Welcome back. Yes, it is. We are expecting a lot of, I will say, cold weather for us, but it's probably wonderful from where you're from. It's about I think it's going to be about 59 degrees today. It actually dropped. It was actually supposed to be 60 degrees. It dropped 1 degree. We're actually in for a cold spell, as we call it, for the rest of this week. It actually came in on yesterday, Tuesday. We got down to about 58. It's going to be It's going to be barely hitting 60 for the rest of this week, and then we still have I think we have a 40-degree day on Saturday, I believe it is. Saturday or Sunday. We're hitting the 40s. We heard something on the radio today about, and it's hilarious to me being from Detroit, because in Michigan, if you're from the Midwest or anywhere close to there, we've all heard the term lake effect snow. Well, this morning, they said that in Tampa, there's a good chance in the next few days they could be experiencing Gulf effect snow. Never thought I'd hear that. I actually shudder at the thought. But yeah, Central Florida could be experiencing Gulf effect snow. It probably won't, it'll be one of those things where it'll be a flurry, it'll be dusted, but never enough to really, impact the ground. Because the temperatures will still climb above freezing throughout the day. We actually wake up, it's probably about in the 40s by the time we wake up, so. But yeah, the winter wear is out, apparently. We were in the gift shop not too long ago, and I did overhear a lot of people, my wife did say a lot of people were buying jackets and sweatshirts and whatnot like that, because yeah, that cold weather came in real quick. We had a really good weekend. I think it got up to 85 on Saturday or Sunday. Monday was a pretty good day, and then Tuesday, boom, hit us with the 50s. This will be our view for the majority. Ooh. I actually have a nice couple of jackets, and my wife actually did say I do have a nice coat. Couldn't tell you the last time. I couldn't even tell you if I've ever worn it. We actually bought that coat when we lived in Missouri for a year. I'm actually perfectly okay with the jacket. I do have one of my nice winter hats that I got for Christmas, but it's not that bad. I actually was placed right here in the sun, so I should be good for the majority of the day. Sitting in the sun, it's not that bad. It actually feels amazing in the sun. But overall, though, the high will be 59. Now that can change. Of course, one thing I've learned living here in Florida is, the weather is whatever it is at that moment. It could always change. It could say 60 degrees 1 minute, and then it could say 65 degrees the next. You just never know. There's not supposed to be any other precipitation coming in except for this Gulf effect snow, which, of course, they also said the Gulf effect snow you probably won't even see it. It's one of those things that'll take place high up in the atmosphere, and it'll melt before it even gets to the surface. Oh, really? Well then, that explains a lot then. Okay, yeah. For any of you that are also fans of John with Fun to Be Free, he does live streams, I think every day, starting at 2 o'clock, depending on what park he's going to be in, but I think it's guaranteed every day he streams at 2 o'clock. I've actually been in the park at the same time. He probably crossed in front of my live stream I believe it was last Tuesday when we stood out front waiting for the 3 o'clock parade. My wife said that she saw John with Fun to Be Free walking just within our camera view. Never actually ran into any other vloggers or live streamers. We have crossed paths with them, but never having an actual conversation with them. And as always, if you have clicked onto this channel, go ahead and like this video if you have not already subscribed to this channel here. And if you've done either of those things and you're new, let us know in the comments down below. Go ahead and chat away. Like I said, this will be our look for the majority, if not all, of this live show right here in Spaceship Earth. People Watching Wednesday, as I like to declare it. This will be probably one of many segments, hopefully in the future. I don't know how many of them are going to be live, but I do plan on having at least some footage of some key areas around the Walt Disney World Resort, where we just kind of listen to the music, let the crowds come on in. And now, Robert, if you're still here, how did you find out that John on the Move was married to Mary? Because I've seen Mary on the Move in his chat. Actually, I think for the longest that I've been watching John, when he was like really just getting started in a sense, I always saw Mary on the Move, and a couple other people that were just regulars on top of Fast Radio. And of course, I do need to plug in again Fast Radio. Go ahead, tune into Fast Radio. He has his own website where he showcases many different songs from the Walt Disney World Company. FastPassRadio.com. Also sign up for his Patreon page. He has some giveaways I think planned in the future. So go ahead and tune into that. And as long as we're talking about giveaways, if you enjoy Disneyland content as well, give a look at Puddles in the Parks. He's over there on the West Coast. And of course, as always, if you're watching for the Florida content at 2 o'clock, John with Fun to Be Free. He broadcasts us live from anywhere inside Walt Disney World. Another reason why I want to do a video like this is mainly I do feel as if it's a little bit more difficult for me to walk around the park with the camera, as I am usually being guided by my wife. I'm usually tagging onto her shoulder. Sometimes she'll hold the camera, but a lot of times I like to hold the camera because I just like to, I don't know, I just feel as if I like to hold the camera. Like I said, now that I have headphones, I can occasionally check in on the chat, answer any questions that are coming in. Once again, if you are hearing it clearly, if you can hear the music and anything like that, let me know. I don't know how much of the microphone is picking up on the background sounds. So let me know in the comments down below if the music is coming in clear or if it's just primarily my voice that you're hearing. Also, let me know if you're hearing any of the wind that's picking up. Lets me know how much I need to try to improve. But once again, this is going to be our People Watching Wednesday experiment. kind of an inspiration because I've seen so many videos in the past of live streams of airplanes taking off, ships leaving Cape Canaveral. There's actually a Matterhorn cam over there in Disneyland. No audio even. And this way I don't have to try to navigate through the crowds with the camera. Once again, it is a nice cool day today. We're about 59 degrees, maybe 60 degrees if the sun plays well. We've got some low temperatures for the next few days, rest of this week actually, before we get somewhat back to normal. Hopefully this will be the last cold spell that we have for quite a while. First cold spell started on Tuesday. One of the reasons why we didn't stream in the parks on Tuesday is because of the cold weather. And also Magic Kingdom closed early. Not to say that that would have changed any of our decisions, because I actually like when the parks close early because crowds are usually typically low on those days. But we're here with a live look at Spaceship Earth on this People Watching Wednesday. If you like to people watch here at Disney, and if you like nice visuals of some of the landmarks of the Walt Disney World Company, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies, like and subscribe to This Time Daily. Channel is continuously growing, and if we are lucky, I will probably endure a drink of Beverly. However, that is only if we can get to a certain number of likes and subscribers, and hopefully maybe if my wife is tuning in, she will actually maybe be able to see, and maybe she could surprise me with a cup of Beverly, everyone's least favorite drink, except for I believe there is another live streamer on the weekends. I think his name is I know he's on Fun to Be Free's radar. I think his name is Scooter Adventures. He also goes live inside the Walt Disney World theme parks. He is the one person I've heard that actually enjoys Beverly. I do it as pain and punishment. He does it because he enjoys it. Once again, as always, if you're new here, or if you're returning, like this video. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. The following live view is being brought to you in part by Walt Disney World's Spaceship Earth and YouTube.com. We are streaming live from the entrance gates of EPCOT Center. This broadcast is being streamed live in front of a theme park audience. It does seem like if I had to judge it just based off of what I'm hearing, It doesn't really seem like there's that much activity. I could be wrong because I could be on the far end of the entrance gates, but it doesn't sound as chaotic as it should be getting because right now the booths should be opening up around Spaceship Earth. So the initial entry crowd is already in, but they're usually at a surge of more people that do come closer to the 10:30, 11 o'clock time frame as the booths around World Showcase opens for the Festival of the Arts, where there is a large array of different food and drink options that we have yet to do, or at least I have yet to do. But I do think there's still at least another couple of weeks of this event. This is one of the shorter events that take place during EPCOT. And then shortly after that, it will be time for the Flower and Garden Festival. There's the crowd. I can hear them coming in from behind me. Sounds like business is about to pick up here at EPCOT. Also, I'm not sure if that's getting a good shot of the monorail. I'm hearing the monorail that's passing through. Don't know if it's a good shot of the monorail at all. The monorail, obviously one of the most iconic parts of any Walt Disney World park, whether it be here in Florida or out there in Disneyland. Once again, if you're just now tuning in, if you've been here before, go ahead and like this video. If you have not been here before, like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies to subscribe to This Time Daily for any and all the pursuing chaos that can happen on this channel. As of today, we are just going to be people watching right here at EPCOT, right out front of Spaceship Earth, just inside the EPCOT entrance gates, as the crowds start to come in for what is probably going to be known as the lunchtime rush. A lot of people coming in for the festival booths as they start to open up. The initial crowd's been here since probably 9 o'clock this morning. Early entry at about 8:30 for resort guests. Capitalizing on those extra 30 minutes to get on Guardians of the Galaxy, rides like Ratatouille, Soarin', some of those top tier attractions. Frozen, of course, is, I believe, temporarily closed for a refurbishment as they switch out some of those animatronics. A little bit of an update. Like I said, the initial burst of people coming into the park before 11 o'clock are here simply for the attractions that they can get on. But now everyone else is stirring from their slumber, from their resorts or their Airbnbs, coming into EPCOT to enjoy their day. As, like I said, the booths for the Festival of the Arts are fully open now, and all the activities in between. If you have not been to Festival of the Arts at any given time, come on and check it out. It is actually a really, really good event for the most part. I believe the event is only about just over 10 years old, and it has come a long way since it initially started. But so has EPCOT. As I said, back when I worked here back in 2017 on the overnight crew, it is definitely an entirely different park than what I was used to operating. Just the landscape of several areas have changed drastically. I think the only area that hasn't changed somewhat is what is now called World Nature, which is housing to the seas with Nemo and Friends, Soarin' inside the Land Pavilion, and of course Journey into the Imagination with Figment. The only significant changes over in that area is, I believe, the awning that was taken away. Other than that, World Showcase is probably the only thing that has not changed at all since I last worked here. Except for, well, I take it back. Ratatouille is a new addition, opening up in 2020. That attraction was not even a thought, or I should say it was a thought, but it wasn't even, the building hadn't even begun yet on that area. I remember there were several break rooms where Ratatouille sits now, and that is no more. Yeah, as of right now, I am just casually sitting right out front of EPCOT. Jen is inside the park doing some pin trading, probably checking out some of the festival stuff as well. She does like to get any footage that she can get for any shorter videos, whether it be TikToks or YouTube Shorts. Stay tuned for any of those on our YouTube channel as far as the shorts go. Only a few more weeks, I believe, this festival is left. I believe the festival ends, around my birthday in late February, as they start to prepare for the spring festival, Flower and Garden. And as far as Canada goes, I have been to Canada. I left Detroit back in 2008. I don't think I've been to Canada since 2006, maybe 7. It was a simpler time back then. I don't even think I needed I think I just needed my ID to get into Canada. Always took the tunnel, never the bridge. But then always looked at Windsor from afar, most times. I do believe that my dad took me to Canada years and years ago. I'm too young to remember though, because I would say probably before I was 8 years old, we went to Toronto. My dad tried to be as much of a traveler as he was in his short life. I was able to explore 2 different countries, of course, Mexico and Canada, but several states across the country. And I definitely will say that my love and passion for Disney is simply because of my father's influence, bringing everything about Disney to me. And I have a different appreciation for Disney because of a story that I've shared many times before. Like for me, Disney isn't even about the memories that I've made coming here and the rides and the characters. It's and I'll just give a brief summary on this one. My dad was a very serious man, but the one time I saw him in his most childish form was at a Disney park. But he definitely would wear people out because he was the type of guy, he would go to all 4 parks in the same day, sun up to sundown. I had to actually tell him because one time we came later, I would say in the late 90s, and he brought a girlfriend of his at the time. And I had to tell my dad, I was like, Dad, she's not going to be used to this, so we have to take it easy on her. And I think he took my advice because we actually took our time on the few times that we went with her. Actually, I think I'm not sure if he still lives there. I think I have a family member that lives in Toronto. He's been out there for, I would say, the better part of just over a decade himself. Actually, yeah, more than a decade. But I can only imagine how cold it is everywhere else. Like I said, I can understand it because I lived in Detroit for the first 26 years of my life. Once again, we are streaming live at EPCOT, right in front of Spaceship Earth, right outside or I should say right inside the entrance gates of EPCOT. As the midday crowd starts to come on in, Festival of the Arts is fully operational, up and running. All those booths should be open now. The entertainment options should be starting up. This festival is running now to about mid-February, and then they will close up shop, and we await for the beginning of the Flower and Garden Festival. We're going to be capturing as much of this ambiance as we can. Stay tuned for future videos that I would like to do as far as ambiance goes, just sitting in front of some of the landmarks. As I said, capturing in the sounds, and for you guys, the sights. And also, as I said, and as it says in the title, People Watching Wednesdays, it's a segment that we have done in the past, but I would like to do it more often. Doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to be a live stream. It will probably be a shot of some landmarks around Walt Disney World. Because as most active and well-rehearsed vacationers will do, sometimes we'll just come in the park and we'll just watch for people. It's always fun to listen to people's excitement as they come into the parks. They're talking about the parks, talking about the various things that they do inside the parks and what they're looking forward to doing. And the one thing I really enjoy sometimes sitting on a park bench or a flower bed is every once in a while you'll get that other guest that comes in, and it's like something about being at a Disney park just brings a different vibe to some people. A little bit more chatty. We've met, I wouldn't say friends, but we've been introduced to a lot of people that are just in good spirits when they come to the parks. That's kind of the attitude that I always feel people should have when they come to Walt Disney World.
We gotta get this.
And of course, if you're here at the moment, if you're new here or a reoccurring visitor, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your family, even if they all are the same family. Share it across the world. I'm pretty sure there's other live streamers out there. Hell, go over their live streams and sneak a word in. We're here doing a live ambiance, live look at Spaceship Earth right here at EPCOT Center. Hopefully you're getting a good view of Spaceship Earth and the crowds that are coming in. If you are new here, just be advised, I am a blind vlogger. We actually just position the camera. I sit next to it with a microphone set up. And again, as I said before, if you're watching us now, let me know in the chat if the audio is coming in okay. Not just my voice, but also if you can hear the background music pretty clearly, or maybe even some of the background chatter. Also, on another video or live stream I'd like to do one day, it might even be in the form of a podcast, so there might not be any video that accommodates this, but I do want to talk about resorts and some of my recommendations for the resorts to stay at, and always is going to depend on what you're prioritizing on your Walt Disney World vacation. I'll do a little sneak peek of it right now, and I will say this. If you were incentivized to come to Disney World for one of the EPCOT's festivals, if EPCOT's festivals is the priority on your list, I highly advise staying at one of the EPCOT resort areas, primarily the ones that are obviously right here within walking distance of the International Gateway, which is the secondary entrance to EPCOT. Epcot being the only resort that officially has 2 entrances into the park. The main entrance, which is where I'm sitting right out front of now. And then there's a secondary entrance in the back of World Showcase called International Gateway. That is the entranceway to the resort guests from the resorts I was just going to recommend. That being the Boardwalk and, of course, the Beach and Yacht Club resorts. Again, if going to Epcot is number 1 on your list, those are the 3 resorts I recommend the most as far as Disney official resorts. There's also the Swan and Dolphin, which I do believe is ran by Marriott. I could be wrong on that. But the Swan and Dolphin, which is adjacent to the other Disney resorts I was just speaking of, located back there as well. But as far as the Disney official resorts, Disney's Boardwalk and the Beach and Yacht Club, if your priority is going to Epcot during one of the festivals. It's also a nice little walk to Hollywood Studios. I'd probably say about a 6 to 10 minute walk to Hollywood Studios from those resorts. And there's also the friendship boats that take you to those resorts and those theme parks. And of course, the brand new, somewhat, Disney Skyliner, which takes you to Pop Century, Caribbean Beach, and the Art of Animation resorts as well. Wow, almost closing in on the first hour of our live shot here at Disney's Epcot Center. Live look of Spaceship Earth, just inside the entrance gates of Epcot. This is where the majority of this stream will be taking place, if not the entire stream. We never know. It's always up in the air. I know I hate to keep repeating it over and over again, but as always, if you are new here, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel for any and all the random chaos that is This Time Daily. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your enemies, like and subscribe. I cannot promise that this channel will get better, but if you're here so far and you've indulged in anything that we have, well, that's on you. There must be something that keeps bringing people back. All right, now according to what I'm seeing, I don't know if we've got any new subscribers, but I will say, because we have, now technically I will say this, if you are new here, or if you're reoccurring, typically when we come to Epcot, I like to do what is called the Beverly Challenge. The Beverly Challenge basically means that for every 10 likes on this video, every 10 likes on the live stream, the current live stream, I will do 1 cup of Beverly. For every 5 new subscribers, I will do 2 cups of Beverly. I have escaped a lot of Beverly over the last couple of live streams we've done. Our actual last live stream, we were just shy of a lot of those numbers, so I only had to do 1 cup of Beverly. But if we were to retro those numbers to our Magic Kingdom, I would have been taking 8 cups of Beverly based off of our Magic Kingdom success. I will enact it today, but I can't guarantee that we will fulfill it because with me sitting at the front of the park, when my wife does rejoin, I do not want to send her back through the park to get me Beverly. If we do a walkthrough around Epcot, maybe. It just depends because, as I said, we usually cut it just before the stream. We tally up the likes and subscribers if we can. And then I take the cups of Beverly live in front of the camera. And if you don't know, the Beverly is a disgusting drink. As I stated earlier in the stream, there's only one person I've ever heard that actually enjoys the Beverly. Other than that, it's awful, bitter, disgusting taste that I can only describe. I will say the one thing that is the same with Beverly is that it tastes like, what have I always said? It tastes like toothpaste and vomit. And every variation in between of those two flavors. But I will endure it for the sake of the video. Like I said, for every 10 likes on this live stream or any live stream at Epcot, I will do 1 cup of Beverly. And for every 5 subscribers, new subscribers, I will do 2 cups of Beverly. Unfortunately, I'm not able to tally up the subscriber count, but I can tend to the likes in the video, which I think we're at 5. So again, if you're casually strolling in, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet already. As I said, for the majority of this video and for the first hour that we've been here, it has just been a live look of Spaceship Earth as the people gradually start to come in on this nice brisk floor today. It's probably perfect weather for a lot of people who are on vacation from the north. But for the Floridians who've been here for more than, I'd say, 5 to 10 years, this is not a good time. As Robert stated earlier in the chat, lots of people wearing a little bit warmer gear. As we were in one of the parks earlier this week, there was coats and other warm apparel, or I should say cold apparel, being offered. Ooh, apparently people really want to try to get me to drink that Beverly. We are at 6 likes right now. Now I will say this too, because we're a casual streaming or casual vlogging with YouTube, we appreciate any and all interest that is shown towards our channel. So 6 likes may not be a lot for a lot of people, but it is enough for me. Because there are several different, I mean, not even several at this point, hundreds of different streamers across Disney World and Disneyland that people could click on. And we do have our occasional, I've checked some of our analytics, we do get the occasional casual fans that are returning. So I appreciate everybody in for that. I appreciate people who leave stuff and leave any comments in chats down below. Any interaction is good interaction.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, Fast Radio, welcome. Yes, it is just me sitting right out front. I should say right inside the Epcot gates. Live look of Spaceship Earth right here as the crowds start to gather inside for the Festival of the Arts. Jenny is inside the park, or I should say perusing around the parks right now. Probably doing a little bit of light pin trading, maybe some other video content in a short format. And I'm just soaking in the ambiance for the most part. Oh, Fast Pass, let her know about that bag if you do want her to snatch that up. Just go ahead and I guess text her. She should have her phone. Oh yeah, she'll have her phone on that. Closing in on 1 hour of streaming right here on Epcot. That's the one thing. It may get old to a lot of people, but it doesn't get old for me. Just to sit here, it's like the old man in me I'm sitting on a park bench, watching all these young whippersnappers start to enjoy their day here at Epcot. It's not my Epcot. You young people don't know. And yes, if the numbers are good, if I will say this, the only way that the Beverly Challenge will probably be achieved today, there's two different ways. One way will be is if we do a walk around after Jenny comes back, if she wants to do another lap, then we will still honor the Epcot Challenge in that way. Remember, for every 10 likes is 1 cup of Beverly. For every 5 subscribers, it is 2. The only other way is if she just happens to notice our counts before she comes up and she surprises me with a cup of Beverly. Now I can actually keep track of the likes because I do have my headset on. Once again, if anybody is here live right now, let me know in the chat down below if you actually can hear everything. I don't know if it's just picking up my voice or if you are able to hear the music in the background and or the crowd or the wind that keeps blowing. Let me know how the audio sounds on that. I'm still experimenting with different ways of being able to at least sit with the chat by myself without Jenny always having to read it.
Come, Jay, come.
As I said before, Florida's going through its nice winter spell. We've got I think our biggest high is supposed to be 60, 61 degrees. But other than that, it's going to be in the 50s. And we also have a 40 degree day in the near future. We do plan, I shouldn't say plan, we do have aspirations of getting over to Animal Kingdom before Dinosaur closes. I don't know if the kids are gonna make it because of school. But the last day of Dinosaur is, I believe, well, I know that the last operating day is February 1st. February 2nd, it will be closed as they make way for the new Indiana Jones attraction for the Tropical Americas. Most of that land should be completed for the most part of 2026. I actually expect that land to be opening probably the anniversary date of Animal Kingdom in 2027. Okay. So you can't hear the music. Perfect. Okay. Just wasn't sure if the music comes in clear or not. I'm not really sitting too close to the speaker, but they do bump up this music pretty loud. You can clearly hear the music from the parking lot nowadays. It makes you kind of wonder, what is Epcot hiding that they have to blast this music so loud? But yeah, we do have aspirations to be within Animal Kingdom in the next couple days or so, whether it be just a video. We probably want to get some on-ride footage of Dinosaur before it does close. And I would like to, if we can get over there, I would like to maybe do a live stream in front of Dinosaur for that day, just to see, well, not that day, or any day, just as a last look at what has originally been known as Countdown to Extinction. Back in 1998 when Animal Kingdom first opened. It was the precursor to the movie Dinosaur, which wasn't actually in theaters till the year 2000, in which then Countdown to Extinction changed to Dinosaur. Been known to be one of the scariest dark rides on Walt Disney World property outside of Alien Encounter. It's going to be sad to see it go in a sense, but I think that the biggest reason I tolerated it so much is because it was a mirror of the Indiana Jones attraction out there in Disneyland. So I'm very excited for it finally coming over to Disney World. I'm not really, I mean, I don't mind the same attraction being in every park as long as it's maybe a different rendition of that attraction. So I'm very anxious to hear people's responses to what the new Indiana Jones ride is going to be, especially with it being having a connection to South America more often than what maybe Disneyland's version has. I'm also very, very excited to hear how people take in the queue. Like I already have a visual of what I want the queue to see. And now that FastPass is here in the chat, I will again plug in FastPassRadio.com. Check out FastPassRadio.com for all that Disney music. Also check out his Patreon page. Sign up for that Patreon page for chances at some giveaways. FastPass, if you get a chance, just go ahead, plug in your channel right there in the chat. I know there's not a lot of people in here now, but if people do start coming in, I want them to see. As I said, this is a surprise live stream for today. It wasn't actually planned at all this week to do a live stream on Wednesday. I actually wasn't even sure if I was even going to be going anywhere on Wednesday. But I figure why not? And like I said, it's a continuation of the series that I kind of wanted to do earlier. I believe earlier this year, maybe late last year, People Watching Wednesdays, where we just find a spot to park in front of a populated area or expected populated area. And we do what the casual Disney fans do, people watch. You never know what you might see. You might find some arguments in the background, might find a full-blown fight. We have not encountered any of that, at least on camera. I've seen my fair share of fights being a cast member. Fights and or arguments that are intense. But the future of People Watching Wednesdays, pretty much, it might just be videos that we might dedicate to come out on Wednesdays or attempt to come out on Wednesdays. No promises in regards to that, but of course, if a video does come out on Wednesday, expect it to be a People Watching video. And of course, this is transitioning also into some ambiance, something that we're also trying to really get involved in as far as our everyday videos, getting the ambiance in. If there's any spots inside of Walt Disney World that you guys do like to enjoy or you do want to see, let us know. And I will say I was very pleased with the amount of interest that our channel got within the last month. Check out some of the analytics and check out some of the numbers that we were getting on a couple of our live streams. It's very encouraging to know that in the midst of everybody else that's live streaming out there, that people like to casually bounce around and check out somebody new. Yeah, you know what's funny too? Like, I don't want to be cliche with when it comes to streaming. Like, everybody goes to Magic Kingdom, and I get it. That's the moneymaker. It's really crazy how it's easy to get traffic coming into the Magic Kingdom, and there's no explanation for it either. It's not like, I don't know if it's the word Magic Kingdom is what draws people to it, because you don't see many other people doing any other streams outside the Magic Kingdom, and it's kind of sad because I mean I like Magic Kingdom a lot. Probably my favorite park of all time, as far as Disney goes. Well, except for Disneyland. But Epcot's good. I have a love-hate relationship with Epcot mainly because I worked here, so it is what it is with that. Hollywood Studios probably a runner-up for second place really when it comes to my favorite park. And of course Animal Kingdom. It's Animal Kingdom's growing on me, but it's really weird that you don't see a lot of people streaming regularly from those other parks. But I guess it's also because I mean if you can't carry a conversation like I can, then you go to Magic Kingdom, you rely on the rides, you rely on the shows just to kill time. It's more about I think it's more about just creating something or forcing people to watch rather than actual people that will just sit down and watch. That's why I try not to talk too much during this video, even though I know I've been running my mouth the entire time. But just to let people get a little bit of that ambiance in. I would like to do, well, I should say I would like to do, but I really can't do much of anything, but I would like to do giveaways on this channel. It's just that I'd hate to get into a giveaway and not be able to get the foot traffic. But then I also would hate to do a giveaway and it ends up being people that just want to be here for the giveaways and not for the content that there is. I mean, we still have that one pin that we tried to give away a pin. What was it? It was at some point last year. We were playing that Disney tag, and all someone had to do was find us in the park. And one guy, he found us in the Pirates queue, but we waited for him outside the exit of Pirates, and we waited there for a little bit of time. And yeah, he never found us again. So I still have that pin somewhere. I don't even know where I put it. But I definitely would like to do some giveaways. I did see someone they were buying things in the park and giving it away to guests in the park. And I get, that's cool. That's a stretch though. I don't want to make it feel like I'm forcing people to watch our channel. Like, you click because you care. Or because you want to see me drink Beverly. Which reminds me, where's our count right now? And I will say, it is cold enough for my hands to be cold. But I am sitting somewhat in the sun. When the sun does come out, it's not that bad. But when the wind blows, kind of negates that warmth. Oh, hey, Fast. I don't know if moderators can do this. Would you be able to pin comments, or is that strictly something that I would have to do? because I would love to pin a comment that says like and subscribe so that I don't have to try to figure out how to. Well, can I do that on here? Let's see. Probably not. It's also interesting too. One of the things that we did was that it was earlier this year, or no, I should say last year, 2025, beginning of 2025, we found a way to do a 24-hour live stream of some of our videos around the parks. That garnered a lot of attention. We actually would peek in every once in a while and see some of the comments or some of the chat that takes place. That actually helped us get to our monetization goal for 2025. So I appreciate for everybody that's been along for that ride. I will say that maybe this might be what some of the videos in the future might be as we do live streams from here on out. It might not be as long. Like I said, I don't really know the details of what is going on today. This is kind of a spur of the moment thing for me anyway. It's a live stream here at EPCOT. If we do another round, we might just go ahead and do a walk around from that point on. That's why the Beverly Challenge is up in the air. If we do another walk around, the Beverly Challenge will still be active. If not, hopefully, if we get to 10 likes and my wife happens to check the stream, she might work her way up here with a cup of Beverly. Oh, okay. Well, I wish I knew some links to put in the chat. We're so bad at this. We probably do have links, but I wouldn't even, I'm not really worried about the Facebook page too much because I really am just sharing other people's posts on there. Sorry, I'm being distracted. I don't know. I don't know how much the microphone is picking up. I'm hearing some people on the outside of the park that are having some, let's just say they're having some difficulty with their tickets and not in a PG sort of way. Let me just say that from the language, I would say the husband is PG-13, but the wife is rated R. I don't think they were talking to a cast member. I think they're mad at themselves at this point. It's all the things that you don't see at the Disney parks. That's why I wish that I could just have a camera strapped to me 24/7, or at least when I come to the parks all the time, just to capture all the things that we happen to encounter that no one else focuses on. I had a stream. I think I was in front of Dinosaur one stream before, and I tried to talk over the guy. He was walking back and forth. He was on the phone, and he was livid about something. And it's just like, I think I've only heard one other live streamer that I watched. I believe it was a Resort TV. They caught someone in the background using some choice language. But yes, anyways, as we are sitting right here in front of Spaceship Earth, just inside the entrance gates of EPCOT here in a nice 60-degree day, I'll give it a 60. I'll even give it 61 with the sun, 62. We're just sitting here with a live look at Spaceship Earth, aka the golf ball, the spaceship ball, the geosphere. As my wife is working her way around the world, pin trading. I'm taking in the sounds while you guys get the sights. Doing some people watching Wednesday. If you are new here, like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you're a reoccurring victim of this channel, go ahead and give us a big thumbs up. It does help out the channel and my self-esteem. And also, as always, because we're at EPCOT, again, depending on the situation, we will initiate the EPCOT Beverly Challenge. For every 10 likes, I will take 1 cup of Beverly. And for every 5 new subscribers, I will take 2 cups of Beverly. I might just go ahead and switch it up though and say, maybe for every 10 likes, I'll just go ahead and do 2 cups of Beverly, because I sometimes do not get to see my subscriber count until the video has ended. So maybe for future reference, we'll just omit the subscribers. I'll do something for subscribers as we get into those numbers that I do like. I mean, we got some pretty good numbers with our Magic Kingdom videos, so I'm very happy at that. I think we've gotten about 40 people off and on in the past month, so that's a big increase. I don't think we've had numbers that big since 2025 when we had. I mean, that was a 24-hour live stream we were getting that on too. So. And of course, like I said, that's going to be dependent on if we do another walk around. Like I said, I'm sitting right out front of the entrance gates, which means that if my wife does come back, if we don't do another walk around, I'm not going to send her all the way back to the park just to get me a cup of Beverly. But if we do a walk around, then that'll give us a little bit more time to gather some more people, gather some more likes and some more attention. Or, as I said, if by some chance she just happens to look at the chat and sees the amount of likes, or if FastPass even tells her, hey, we got 10 likes, get them 2 cups of Beverly. If that be the case, then we will, that'll be the best case scenario. What did I do here? All right, hold on, folks. Issues here with the camera. Let me know if that works. Here, I'm gonna get to the chat real quick. Oh yeah, then do that all day, FastPass. Do that all day. If you want to plug in your channel, do that all day, all day. I'm gonna catch up with the chat here. Oh, thank you, Tony. All right, real quick, if anybody could tell me in the chat, I'll check it here in a minute. The camera did something a little, oh, I know what happened here. Okay, camera went a little wonky for me for a second there. So let me know if it's got a good visual of Spaceship Earth, or if I need to move it a smidge to the left or right. Or if I'm even facing Spaceship Earth again, I might have actually hit the button to reverse the camera. Tony O'Tower, welcome. I'm sorry, I was way behind on the chats here. All right, so we're at 7 likes. Thanks to Tonio Tower. For anybody else that's out there tuning in, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. 10 likes. Like I said, I'm changing the rules. I change the rules every so often for the, I would say for the benefit of the channel, but it's not really a benefit for the, it's a benefit for the channel, but it's suffering for me. I'm going to omit the subscriber count because I can't regularly check the subscriber count. So we're going to go back to the likes, but I'm going to change it up. Instead of 1 cup for every 10 likes, we'll do 2 cups for every 10 likes. Of course, today, because I might not be doing a walk around, it depends on if we're going to be doing a walkthrough later once my wife gets back around. Or, again, if we get to 10 likes, shoot, I know FastPass, he's good for it. He'll send Jenny a text and say, bring up 2 cups of Beverly, we got to 10 likes. Other than that, it'd be the hope of my wife tuning into the chat every once in a while and checking the subscriber count. Okay, perfect, thank you. Oh no, what? Hold on. Okay, 7, okay. Ooh. Ooh. All right, so I don't need, but I would like to have a few more likes on this video. Sorry, I got so much distraction going on around me. I'm hearing, so everyone's again coming in again from the, I think I'm over here, the bus traffic is coming from behind me right now. So people are still coming in to EPCOT. It's amazing that, like, all the information for Disney is out there, and to still hear people with just the wrong information. It's not that it's astounding, because nothing surprises me nowadays, but it is very interesting. Like especially with everybody on YouTube, everybody on TikTok says Disney World. Like, just search Disney on any engine on Al Gore's internet, and you're going to find someone who's got information on Disney. And yet there's so many people that just don't know. It's like they put it all on a travel agent, and the travel agent doesn't explain anything. And then they come to Disney thinking that they're going to do things that aren't even here. Yes, see. Oh, okay, I'm gonna answer that question too. All right, so yes, that's the one thing I can never. That's the one thing I can never distribute as far as your radio station FastPass is how to exactly get there. Because when we first searched FastPass Radio, of course, fastpassradio.com, it wasn't coming up. So it wasn't until we actually got the link, then it was like, oh. And also, don't forget to plug in your Patreon too, because that's a good help. And yes, there were extensively long lines for that statue. Basically, the hype has now died down. I don't even know if there's even, I'm pretty sure they still have a photographer that stands out front, but it's not the big grandeur that it was before. We actually stood in line for it on, I believe it was opening day when we were here. And it was good. I mean, obviously I wish I could see it. I could pretty much visualize it as far as the way it was described to me. But definitely, like, it's one of those things where like Disney fans got into it. People who just want to make content about it. But other than that, it's no different than the partner statue at the Magic Kingdom. People know what it is. People like it, but it's not as special as it is to someone like me, for instance. Like I love the Walt Disney statue that's at California Adventure. I just like the Walt Disney statues. I like the Roy Disney statue. A lot of people don't even know who Roy Disney is and how influential he is to the Magic Kingdom and Disney World. But there's a Roy statue on a park bench. It's actually Roy and Minnie Mouse. It's right there on Main Street, USA. I believe it has changed locations a couple times. But there is a unique story with that bench. And as far as the story that was told to be, if you've ever seen the bench, it has Roy Disney on one side of the bench and Minnie Mouse, a sculpture of Minnie Mouse on the other side of the bench. And the story behind it, from what I was told on my backstage tour as a cast member, was that it was basically like, how do I say, the manners of back in the day was that the man would sit on one end of the bench in case a female wants to sit on the bench as well, but she could sit comfortably on the other end of the bench, as to not, as to keep a distance. And it's so funny because the reason they brought that up is because most people will instinctively sit in the middle of a bench. I've never been one of those people. Like, currently, I'm sitting on a bench and I'm sitting right here on the edge. Not just because the camera's sitting on the arm of the bench, but because it's like, if anybody else wants to sit down, I don't want to make it seem awkward as if, I'm sitting in the middle, so you're gonna have to sit next to me one way or the other. But it's just the fact that most people don't know who Roy Disney is. They don't acknowledge Roy Disney enough. And the sad thing is that there are some people who don't even recognize who Walt Disney is in the statue. And I feel as if that's banishment. Yes. Ooh. Let's keep it that way. Yeah, see, that's the proper way, sitting on the edge. And yeah, I'm actually, over the last couple of years, now that I got into this big, it was on YouTube. Someone did a big history lesson on Walt Disney, the Walt Disney World Company, and when they brought over Walt Disney World here, and how Roy was adamant about calling it Walt Disney World in honor of his brother, who passed away before getting to see any of this take shape. And I kind of feel as if, like, Roy needs to get. I don't think Roy wanted a lot of that recognition, but I just feel as if Disney just needs to reach out to the family and say, hey, we want to give Roy more recognition. I'm all about that. Because if Roy had not I believe the story is that Roy came out of retirement to just make sure that the Florida project was complete. And that is what all of the Florida parks are today. It's because of Walt Disney World. And of course, Michael Eisner, probably the greatest CEO, in respects of how people may feel about him on a personal level. But Roy needs to be given more. Roy needs to get his flowers. Let's just say that. I actually, what I think they should do for Roy? So one of the I think one of the only visuals that they even really showcase about Roy Disney is when he did the dedication speech at that podium right there at the Magic Kingdom, right there by I believe it's by the flagpole. They actually should do a sculpture of that, of Roy Disney standing in front of that podium, dedicating Walt Disney World on that opening day. Where they could put it, obviously somewhere on Main Street, obviously somewhere by the flagpole or in that vicinity. But yeah, I definitely think that Roy should get that type of sculpture, and that they should put like a bust of Roy and Walt, maybe somewhere at Hollywood Studios, since they did have that movie, that Walt Disney Company together, the movie production company. And once again, we are broadcasting you live in front of a theme park audience here at EPCOT Center, right here in Disney World. It's going to be a nice 59, 60 degrees today. A little bit of a cold spell coming through Florida for the rest of this week. We're going to get down to the 40s. Like I said earlier, I'm from Detroit, so I've heard of lake effect snow, but this morning they said Gulf effect snow out there in Tampa. So Central Florida might be getting hit with some snow high up in the heavens. It's not expected to make landfall, but it is expected to be some flurries. Excuse me. If you're new here, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel. 10 likes on this video equals 2 cups of Beverly. Last I heard, we are 3 cups away from that. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your enemies. So go ahead and like this video and subscribe. Share it across the board. Infiltrate other YouTubers. Tell them, sneak on over to this time, get them some more likes so he can drink that Beverly. And like I said, if we do a walk around, we'll definitely be honoring it that way. If not, I'm pretty sure, like I said, one of our diligent moderators will probably contact my wife Jenny and tell her, make sure you bring him 2 cups of Beverly once he gets his 10 likes. She's doing some pin trading around, I'm pretty sure she's around the world at this point. We've been streaming here for just about maybe an hour and 20 minutes. Doing what the tenured Disney goer does. Sits at a park bench, watches the people as they come in. As I've said, the Festival of the Arts is alive and well. That festival is going on as of right now. The booths did open up about 11 o'clock. That's when the first initial burst of crowds started to come in for the lunch rush. Of course, Festival of the Arts is one of the 4 festivals year-long that Disney Epcot has, giving you many different foods, drinks, and other things. I guess we're only at 7 likes. I changed the rules. I said now it's 2 cups of beverage for every 10 likes because I can't keep track of the subscribers. Oh, speaking of which, we'll check out. Ooh, we got 8 likes. I wouldn't mind sitting in front of Hollywood Studios over by Tower of Terror. The problem is that they have all that copyright music right there, and it's really hard to avoid that. And I could talk over it, but who wants to really hear that? Especially, there's a specific spot. If you've ever walked down Sunset, I could pretty much sense it as we're walking through. There's a spot in Sunset, you're about halfway down and the music changes from the front to getting towards Tower of Terror. And I think that's where the copywritten music really starts to spark up at. But yeah, I would definitely take on some sculptures of Walt and Roy at studios and of course here at Epcot. And I personally think, even though I don't know how much they would do this, but Joe Rohde, I think he needs a sculpture of some. He needs something to signify his importance to the Walt Disney World Company here in Florida. because he is intricate in a lot. I mean, there's too many things to name. I mean, pretty much all of Animal Kingdom is Joe Rohde. He is like the Imagineer alumni that everybody should just know. As far as the new age Imagineers go, I think that a lot of people that were big parts of Disney should just get some sort of a plaque or a bust that showcases the significance. And the biggest thing about studios too is one of the best shots of Tower of Terror is in the courtyard for the Rock and Roller Coaster, and definitely can't film there because every single one of those songs is copywritten. They don't play Aerosmith songs anymore, but I think they play Bon Jovi, they play Queen, they play everybody, and that's all the copyright strikes right there. I actually used to like sitting in the exit area of Tower of Terror. It's if you've been on it, it's an exit spot as you're getting off the ride, but you're not quite in the gift shop. So you're basically getting like a nice view of everybody that comes off the ride. I've actually sat there with the kids back in the day when the kids, they don't really care for that ride, but if my wife or whoever we're with goes on it, then we'll sit out on those benches out there. And I love just hearing people's reactions to the ride, the things they didn't expect from it. Yeah, I think the only spot in Hollywood Studios that I could really sit down without maybe the music getting in the way is maybe the initial area as you enter in, and maybe over there towards the Chinese theater. Everywhere else, it's pretty much a hard workaround. What I do like though, I really wish that they would let people sit in the garden area of the Tower of Terror, or even better, let us sit in the lobby of Tower. If you don't want to ride the ride, just let us sit in that lobby in the queue, taking in that old, what is that, the 30s, old 30s, 40s style music. And yes, Pandora surprised me. I think that now I will say, like, Flights of Passage, awesome attraction. Navi River Journey, I think I expected a lot more, and that's what probably causes a lot of disappointment for me anyways. I never understand why people will wait in that line for so long, but again, like I said, it's an amazing looking attraction, but I think I hyped myself up on it because I think we did Flights of Passage first, and then Navi River Journey, and it was kind of like, oh, well, it's like, I mean, the animatronic shaman is amazing, but what's the service here?
Wow, that worked out the first time.
Oh, now maybe Fast Pass can help me out here. So for some reason, when I was young, we're talking about early 90s maybe, I remember going to Disneyland, and I could have sworn that when I got on the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland that we actually got to go inside the mansion facade. And it was like just an indoor, I don't know how to describe it. It was like a old time Victorian living room. And sometimes, and like now that we've been there the last, when we went there just this past year, and then we went there about 10 years ago, and it's like it's all just outside. The queue is just outside, then you go straight into the elevator. And for some reason, I just remember going inside the mansion, inside of a living room, and walking through a queue in there, and then coming back outside to go into the elevator. I might be crazy though, because now it seems like when we were there the last time, it just seems as if everything's like, I don't want to say boarded up, but like you can't access the inside portion, and it's just the elevator part. Okay, man, maybe it's just me imagining that, because like I said, this had to been, because, oh man, I'm gonna have to say definitely early 90s, because it was the first time I was allowed to walk around Disneyland by myself. So we're talking probably about 93, 94. But ever since then, I've never seen anybody, I've never heard any footage of it or anything like that. And I'm like, am I crazy? Like, where was I that I did that? I mean, I'm not crazy. My mother had me tested. And I do wish that Disney would bring back more seating and just common spaces. I mean, I understand why they don't though, because some people, they ain't got no liquor sense. People will sprawl out, pull out blankets and pillows and take naps on park benches. I'm at least taking up a small space that no one ever sits by. Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is that they shut down the indoor queue. But like I said, I've never heard of anybody else that also remembers that. I mean, if they could, that would be an amazing thing too. But now they've got that whole new. I don't know if that was even finished when we went there, but now they got that whole new cemetery that they put in out there. And I'm very happy that we got to take our kids to see that version of the Haunted Mansion. Not a fan of the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. I think at this point in time, you might as well just give it its own attraction if you're going to do that. But I'm happy that the kids got to see the original Haunted Mansion. They got to see the original Pirates of the Caribbean. So. I want to go back to that previous comment. Yeah, I think I'm surprised about how many people expect there to be more Marvels here in Walt Disney World. Which, I mean, it doesn't surprise me if you just don't know the terms and agreements that Universal Studios and Marvel has. And of course, it is a little misleading when you have Guardians of the Galaxy that's already sitting up here. But that's like one of the few exceptions, because Guardians of the Galaxy has no affiliation with the original idea of what Universal Studios was doing with their Marvel Super Island. But again, you would think though too, like, EPCOT is a perfect spot for a Marvel's Avengers campus. Even though, like I said, there is a rumor that I heard about the fifth gate that Disney World might be bringing here in the future. And I did hear rumors that coincides with that maybe possibly bring in some Marvel as they work a different partnership with Universal here in the future. Fingers crossed on that one though, but I think it's going to be well into the 2030s before any of that takes into development. But yet there's not enough people who are looking for those old school EPCOT attractions. Bring back Horizons. Bring back World of Motion. Bring back Dreamfinder for Figment. Yeah, that was my understanding to what I've looked into as far as the contract goes, is that Marvel has the comic books IP, which makes sense why they have the cartoony versions, and it's basically limited to certain things. Basically because I know they have like the Silver Surfer, he's just an image over there. Anything they have an image of, they have the rights to. I think there's a picture of Black Panther over there as well on one of the murals, I believe, at one of the restaurants. I believe there's a Black Panther reference over there. And I think there's also a Doctor Strange reference, which is why I think Disney got into a little bit of trouble when they had a Doctor Strange meet and greet briefly over there at Hollywood Studios before they closed everything down. Doctor Strange's meet and greet was just past the old entrance of Toy Story Mania, going to where the backlot tour used to be. But he was only there for a short period of time. I believe Spider-Man also did something out there too, very briefly. It's like Universal Studios was testing the waters. See, I don't know I worry about Universal Studios too, because they put a lot of focus on things that they don't actually own. And then I'd hate for it to be another situation where, Disney, like right now, what is it? The Simpsons area is supposed to be going away because I believe their contract ends, I believe it ends 2026, I think it is. I think it ends this year. So the rumor has it that they're going to be reverting the Simpsons area to, from what I understand, it's supposed to be Pokemon, which is great as long as Universal Studios puts in a ironclad partnership with Pokemon and doesn't let Disney come in and say, okay, we'll buy that too. I really thought Disney was going to buy DreamWorks at one point in time, because I heard there was supposed to be a big movie deal. It was like 30, it was either 30 movies or 15 years between Disney and DreamWorks, whichever comes first. And I thought for sure that was going to be Disney being on the verge of buying DreamWorks, because that's similar to, I think, the deal they made with Pixar back in the day before they bought them up. But nothing really came about that. But I just think the Universal Studios need to put in some of their own IP, or they need to focus on purchasing some things. That's why I was really excited for NBC, Comcast, Universal. They were putting that bid in for Warner Brothers. And I thought for sure, I was like, oh, that would be great for them. But Netflix for the win. Yeah, that would have been a great deal that would have been a great win for Universal because of the Harry Potter movie rights and everything being held by Warner Brothers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap this video up. I'm going to go ahead and let it play for the next 5 minutes, 4 minutes, so we can get a nice 2 hours of live stream in. Once again, live look of Spaceship Earth right here at EPCOT Center, sitting just inside the entrance gates to EPCOT. We were just doing a live look of Spaceship Earth for these past 2 hours. A little bit of people watching on this Wednesday. We didn't make it to 10 likes, unfortunately. We got 8. Didn't quite make it to 10. So sad. Not really. We'll see what the future holds. Like I said, don't keep your fingers crossed. But we do plan on doing some other filming here in the next couple days. If not, we might have some other things in mind. Like I said, I'll probably want to do another podcast where I speak to the camera rather than having a video. So stay tuned for that. If you are tuning in at any given moment in time, even on the replay, I did notice that we've had a bit of success with the replays. Go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to the channel for any other content. This video will probably abruptly end, so I'll just go ahead and do the sign off right now. As I said before, like and subscribe to this channel if you're new here. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your enemies about us. And again, as I said, 2 o'clock. John with Fun to Be Free. He'll be starting his live stream here pretty soon if he hasn't started already. So give him a shout out. Let him know you just came in from this time. If not, no worries. And as always, shameless plug on Fast Pass Radio. Check out Fast Pass Radio for all that Disney music, past, present, and probably future. They'll probably have Disney music before Disney knows they made it. And then check out his Patreon page for any giveaways. And as always, we will see you next time on This Time.